Alright, let's set up the bomb tile type. We're going to go up to the plus again. We'll go to our tile set default. And if you click on the bomb folder, you'll notice that there are several different states for the bomb. There's an attractor, meaning that if you get too close, it'll start coming towards you. You have a dead state, which is actually just an invisible, just a blank image. You have ignite, which could be, an animation of this going all the way down the fuse. And then the explosion itself, just simply being a piece that explodes outward. Alright, and then the thumbnail image for it. Alright, so let's go ahead and select the folder here. And if we click on the bomb, we'll just click on our tile type bomb here. We're going to start off by setting up the general settings here, and then we'll go to the specifics of the bomb on its behavior. So first one, we'll just say bomb for it. Description, we'll say explodes on contact. Alright, and then general settings for this, we just want to do our thumbnail view, so we'll say thumbnail image. Animations on here, let's drop this to about 7 or 8 frames a second. We'll slow it down enough that you can see them, but it won't be too slow on it. Alright, and then the image offset, I'm actually going to put this in front of most things so that when it does explode, it's actually the thing that's in front of the character or front of an object with the explosion effect. Okay. Now, the rotation, the collider, color, all these are going to work for it. These are all fine. We're going to go down to the next part, which is going to be setting up the tile animations. Tile animation for the bomb is going to be using the first 3. And then we'll be using the last part of it for the ignite and for the effect. So you can say start. We're going to do the bomb. We have the, let's see, it's going to be bomb on this one. And then there's actually not an animation applied, so we're just saying this can be the bomb image. However, when you do enter it, that's going to be where you play the bomb ignite, which was the fuse being lit right here. Alright. And if you had audio that you were wanting to play with it, you can assign them through it right there. So those are going to be the main parts for the first 3 animations that get applied. The next part we're going to take a look at is setting up the health for it and how the health and the hurt and all those parts work with it. Before we do that though, let's jump back up here real quick. We want to make sure that we have our trigger settings. So trigger settings, be sure you have it enabled. Alright. So now we can go back down to the health, and we will uncheck the health right here. Now, you could set the health down to almost 0 and just say anything can cause it to happen. You could set it high so that in case you want, if the user uses a weapon and tries to shoot it, maybe it takes more than 1 hit to actually destroy it. But it can be 1 hit if the player touches it. Alright, hit point settings, we want to make sure we have this enabled for it. Now, the points for this one, we're actually not setting a point system for the bomb here. We're actually just going to be going through and making sure that the rest of them are set up so that on triggering it, you'll actually be able to have it affect the player. The hurt options here, default is fine for this part. The hurt color flashing, what we could do is just set this one to a little bit quicker on here. We could then do maybe like a 1 or 2 for the fade back a little slower. The number of times, if you want it to actually flash a few times versus just once, you could have it where it feels like it's an extended amount of time happening. The hurt color, what we're going to do is actually take the saturation level to 100, which will, when you're using the saturation, you'll notice that you can take it to 100, and that changes the value to red. So the bomb, when it starts to flash, will actually have a red flash happening. Let's close these rollouts. Alright, so we're going to go down to the die animations for die and dead. The die state and dead state are just going to have the same animation. You could choose a separate bomb die and then it goes to the dead state. For this one though, we're just playing the same one each time. It's going to be default pieces here, nothing changing or anything on that part. The die scale, if you wanted it to actually grow on the die, so if it got bigger or got smaller, you could do that with it. That would be fine. If we go down to our explode, so the explode, we're actually going to say explode not after dead state. We want it to blow up. If the animation is happening, we want it to happen at the start of the animation, not at the end of the animation. So we'll uncheck the explode after dead state. And then the values here, the effect range, I'm actually going to take this up to about 12. We want to make it affect a little bit further outside of itself. And then the effect hit points, this is where the value is going to come in. And I'm going to actually say this is going to be 10 for the effect point of the explosion here. Alright, and now that we have these, this is going to be the main setup for all of just the general properties for it. After that, we'll walk through the specifics for the bomb and how to set up those pieces.